I am surprised and absolutely shocked and devastated, as most people, I'm sure, in the space community and across the world seeing this probably are. But I think it's important to remember that accidents throughout spaceflight are natural throughout history. I mean, just 2 years before we went to the moon, there was the Apollo 1 fire, which killed 3 astronauts. And then 2 years later, we were landing on the surface of the moon. 2 space shuttles blew up. And even this week, there was an unmanned commercial rocket accident. So accidents are commonplace in spaceflight. And throughout all of Virgin's history, they've always said, you know, accidents could potentially happen. This is a test flight programme. It is surprising to see it's happened when it hasn't actually got into space yet, because the problem is that Spaceship 2, which is what exploded today, is basically a larger version of Spaceship 1, which went into space 10 years ago to win the Ansari X Prize to be the first commercial spacecraft to go into space. Now, Virgin Galactic teamed up with a guy called Burt Rutan, who designed Spaceship 1, to develop Spaceship 2, which is a bigger version of Spaceship 1. But the problem is you can't just build a bigger spaceship and expect it to work in the same way. So Virgin Galactic has had issues over the last decade in terms of things haven't happened as fast as they wanted them to, but safety has always been at the forefront of everything they were doing. What was happening today was they were going to try a 30-second burn. So Spaceship 1 is flown attached to a second aircraft called White Knight 2. It's then dropped from a height of 50,000 feet and you fire the engines. And as you were hearing earlier, they were testing out new propellant, new types of engines today. And the plan today was to burn that engine for 30 seconds. So in a way, it was kind of a routine flight. We weren't heading to space today. We were just testing burning the engine for a very short amount of time. So it is incredibly sad and surprising to hear what's happened today. But I think you've got to remember, throughout any forms of transportation, there's always accidents. And it's important to remember as well, where we are in terms of spaceflight is the same as the same place we were in terms of aviation 100 years ago. So it is still very much in its infancy.
It's an incredible tragedy. You know, the Virgin team and the Spaceship 2 team are among the best and the brightest. They assembled a wonderful team of engineers and technicians to prepare this vehicle. We're following a staged test program, and to quote the words of John Gillespie McGee, anytime we break the surely bonds of Earth, you know, it's a very, very challenging thing to do, and accidents can and will happen whenever we press new technologies. I'm sure the team will very diligently get to the root cause and repair it. But obviously, it's a horrible loss for the pilots' families and the Virgin team and our industry.
Just how innovative and experimental is the technology which the Virgin Galactic project was testing today?
Well, Burt Rutan is a visionary designer, and certainly the lifting bodies that he had been involved with over the years are among the greatest innovations in our country's history. Each flight program that they've worked on is pressed a little bit further, a little bit faster, and so I would describe the Spaceship 2 vehicle as extraordinary in many regards. It's not just an evolutionary step, but a revolutionary step in many ways.